Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Rewards for January 20th through to the 26th, 2024, right here on the Rewards Canada YouTube channel and on the Rewards Canada podcast. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada. I hope you all have had a great week, and as always, before we start things off, be sure to hit that like button if you like today's content. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time we post a new video to our channel. So as always, we start off with credit card news, and this week the big news, what a lot of people are excited about, is the return of the best ever bonus on the RBC Avion Visa cards. Primarily the Visa Infinite, but also on the Visa Infinite Privilege and the Platinum versions. And that is up to 55,000 bonus Avion points you can get with this card now when you apply for it. It's one of the easiest welcome bonuses to achieve in the market. You get 35,000 points on approval, like you don't even have to spend anything. Basically, I've heard stories of people getting the card or getting the bonus before they even receive the card in the mail. So very easy to get that first 35,000 points, and then you get another 20,000 points after spending $5,000 in the card in the first 6 months. So again, that's a very easy spend too, because that's spread over 6 months, not like 3 months like a lot of cards. So it's under $1,000 a month that you just have to spend on the card to earn that bonus. To take advantage of this offer, all you have to do is apply for and be approved. Actually, just apply by April 30th. I was going to say approved by April 30th as well, but that's only a rule that TD's been putting in place lately. RBC, as long as you apply by April 30th, you should get this bonus once you're approved. I said, yeah, so $5,000 over 6 months is very easy. That's a lot less than most competitors on cards. Some cards out there are requiring up to $24,000 to spend in a year, if not more. And here, $5,000 over 6 months, so easily achievable, especially for a card like Visa Infinite Privilege, based on the income requirements for those cards. You should be able to make that very easily. Now, what can those points get you? So if you spend the full amount, spend that $5,000 in the first 6 months, you're gonna have 60,000 points. So that's enough for 4 economy class flights to a neighboring province or state using the Avion Air redemption schedule, just basically their reward chart. They have such a complicated name for it, but their reward chart, because those are 15,000 points for a round trip flight. So you'd have 60, so you get 4 round trip flights with that. You still have to pay the taxes and fees above whatever the ticket amount is, the base ticket amount. If the base ticket amount also exceeds the $350 max that they have for that level, you have to pay that difference as well, or use points at 100-to-1 ratio to redeem for them. You can also get 1 economy class flight anywhere in North America without those 60,000 points and have some points left over. It's also worth a $600 credit towards any other travel booked via Avion Rewards, so hotels, cars, you name it. You can convert it to 600 WestJet dollars. And it can even work out to more sometimes, because there are a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but twice per year, they usually have a 10% bonus for converting to WestJet dollars, so that can work out to 660 WestJet dollars. You can also redeem it for 2 economy class tickets between Toronto and Dublin if you convert those points to British Airways Executive Club. They only require 26,000 Avios to redeem for that flight round trip economy class during off-peak times, and off-peak is most of the year for that flight. So good one. And then finally, you can also use it towards 1 economy class ticket between Vancouver and Hong Kong on Cathay Pacific, because you can convert the points to Asia miles. And that used to be 60,000, but they've actually dropped the amount. There was a lot of uproar about a devaluation in the program, and yes, there was a devaluation in the program. That was for business class. Economy class out of Canada actually got better. There wasn't much talk about it, but there probably should be considering more people redeem for economy class than business class, and it actually went down to 27,000 Asia miles each way, or 54,000 round trip between Vancouver and Hong Kong. So you'd have more than enough points converting 1-to-1 from RBC to Cathay Pacific for that flight as well. So that's that bonus. Now, the quick question that a lot of people ask me is is it worth holding onto this card beyond that? And I think if you've followed Rewards Canada for some time now, you'll know I'm not a huge fan of the day-to-day earn rates and redemption options, the value. I call it an expensive card, because the amount of spending you have to do on this card to be rewarded is a lot, and that's a lot compared to, like, say, the Cobalt card, MVNA Rewards, pretty much any card out there. Years ago I put out a piece about the card that needs a major overhaul. I mean, I did a whole series of overhauls, but this was the first one, and this one was hugely popular tons of people read it, was about the Avion card needing an overhaul, primarily in the points earning department, and it still does. I mean, it's a 1 point per dollar card, 1.25 for travel purchases. Everybody else has accelerated earn rates. This card doesn't. So it can make for a very expensive endeavor once you're done or have used up this welcome bonus to ever get rewarded for something else. Now, there are some tricks beyond that. You can get yourself like the RBC Avion Plus card, so you can earn accelerated earn rates in categories like groceries and that, where you can earn 3 points per dollar. And as long as you have the Avion Plus card plus the Avion Infinite or Avion Platinum or any of that, you can take advantage of their reward charts or convert to like British Airways and stuff like that. And that brings the combo of cards much closer to things like your Cobalt card and that. Still doesn't match it, but it gives you a lot more value in the Avion Rewards program than just hanging on to the Avion Infinite. What I'll do is I'll put a link below to our loyalty lesson that talks about how you can maximize your Avion earning by combining the cards, so that you can learn more about that. So that's the new offer from RBC for their Avion Visa Infinite, or I guess Avion cards, the Infinite Privilege, and Platinum. They're all offering up to 55,000 bonus points. Just remember to apply by April 30th. Now, continuing credit cards, and this is still RBC, we now have more details with the HSBC, the RBC transition. So we have confirmation that the HSBC Cash Rewards MasterCard is being migrated to the RBC Cashback MasterCard. There's no additional extras for HSBC clients who are being moved over, because I think the RBC card actually has the potential to earn more cash back than the HSBC. But the one that most people are concerned about, where the most discussion is on our blog and on a lot of sites, is the HSBC World Elite MasterCard. And that is confirmed that it's going to be transferring to RBC Avion Visa Infinite cards. But the HSBC clients will be getting a few extras that regular RBC Avion cards do not get. So if you're applying for that 55,000 bonus points, you're not going to get these extras. This is strictly for HSBC clients who are being converted over. And so they will receive 0% FX fee. So they will have a no effects RBC Avion Visa Infinite card. Too bad that wasn't for the whole shebang. But like I've said, that's a huge moneymaker for RBC. It's a huge moneymaker for all banks in Canada that charge FX fees. That's why you don't see it a lot, because it makes up a much bigger piece of the revenue pie than say out of the US. US cards, when they first trumpeted and heralded no foreign transaction fees, it wasn't as a huge deal, because online shopping was in US dollars, a lot of conversion options were in US dollars, and the amount of Americans who had credit cards compared to the amount of Americans traveling outside of the US, basically the FX fee makes up a smaller portion of the revenue pie than Canadian cards do, because we travel, as a per capita, Canadians travel more outside of Canada than Americans, or I should say US. Technically we're North American, whatever. I'm just blabbing here. But anyway, so that's something to note. Why FX fees really haven't taken off hugely in Canada is because for companies like RBC, TD, Bank of Montreal, it makes up a lot of revenue. It probably used to for Scotia as well, but that they're trying to be a differentiator there. So good on Scotia, but that's why we haven't seen any other big banks go with the no FX fee route. But anyways, I'm kind of going off course there. So HSBC card holders, World Elite card holders who are being converted over to the Avion Visa Infinite will enjoy no foreign transaction fees. So that's great. There's no word on how long that will be. I put out speculation. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a couple years, and then they're probably gonna change the cards on you. But of course, that's just a guess. But knowing RBC and the big banks, how they just want to keep squeezing profits and revenue, that I think it's going to be a not a full-time forever thing. Now they do say too, if you cancel the card and then apply for a new RBC card, you will not get that. This is strictly, you have to get it converted and keep your card to keep those benefits. And those other benefits too are a one-time travel credit of up to $200. And the way this works is they'll give you your HSBC travel enhancement credit of up to $100, whatever you haven't used of it yet this year. So if you haven't used any, you have $100 to use with RBC Avion Rewards. And they're going to give you an additional $100 to use above that. So up to $200 on any purchases of $200 or more via Avion Rewards for hotels and cars. So you can't use it towards lounges or, seat selection fees like you could with the HSBC card, but they're doubling the value of it. But this is a one-time thing that has to be used within the first year. After that, it's gone. So this is just a one-time benefit. So whereas the HSBC card was annual, it was there all the time. This is literally here for 1 year for those who are being converted over. And then the last extra benefit being transferred over to these clients from HSBC to RBC is a $0 supplementary card. So that follows the HSBC World Elite, which was $0. So in terms of annual fees, this card will end up being less than the HSBC. HSBC was $150 plus $0 supplementary. This RBC Avion Infant's $120 for the primary, and then $0 for supplementary cards. But of course, you're earning less points and so on and so forth, less benefits, not as good as insurance. So yeah, so there's your details. If you have an HSBC World Elite and if you have not received a big package from them yet, this is what you can expect. What they haven't detailed in that package, other than saying comparative value, is how much your points will be worth, or how much HSBC points will convert to RBC Avion Rewards points. There's no details. They say it's going to be comparative value. So what is comparative? Is it, I think I said this in the last video or previous videos, is it going to be 2-to-1 based on the new earn rates of the HSBC card? Is it going to be 3-to-1 based on the older earn rates of the HSBC World Elite card? We don't know. I'm actually kind of right now been moving mostly towards 2.5-to-1, but that's again just a guess, and it can go as high as 4-to-1, as pointed out on Red Flag Deals by Corrali. In that, and I added to that yeah, if you take the our Avion Air redemption schedule, their reward chart, it provides a maximum value of 2.33 cents per point. Excuse me. So that means that could provide RBC the option to make a conversion of 4-to-1, which would be absolutely horrible for HSBC Rewards points. I don't think it'll be that high, but anything's feasible here. So far, that's all we know with the transitions for credit cards, are those two. We haven't heard anything about the World Elite, or Metal World Elite, which was also the Jade World Elite before that. We have not heard what their people are getting, haven't seen any packages yet. Hopefully we'll start hearing about that soon. And we haven't heard about like the no-fee travel card or the Rewards Plus or Plus Rewards that HSBC had. We haven't heard about those either yet. So as soon as we find out, we will pass along those details. And continuing on with credit card news, we have a new Amex Offers offer that came out. This one is spend $500 with Hyatt Hotels in Canada and you'll receive a $100 statement credit. It can be a one-time or cumulative to get to that $500. You just have to register your card first. It's limited to the first 40,000 cards you register, and that includes Scotia cards that are included on this offer. And it is strictly at Hyatt Hotels in Canada, so you have 19 locations that you can use this at. And it has to be, your stays have to be completed by May 14th. So check out that offer. That's just the last quick one on credit cards. Now we'll move on to loyalty news, travel news, and those sorts of things and bonuses. So this week we kicked off our annual look at new hotel openings in Canada. The first this year was with Marriott. They're planning to open 11 properties this year. At least those are 11 we know of. And if it all goes to plan, they'll be opening up in Alberta, British Columbia, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Quebec, and Saskatchewan. So one of those actually opened just in the past week, and that was the Moxie Halifax downtown. We've covered the battle of the Moxies between Halifax and Banff as to who's opening first in Canada, and it was Halifax. They are officially open. There's, as I've mentioned in the past, this week in rewards, you can earn 3,000 bonus points for staying here at the Moxie Halifax downtown, so check it out. If you do stay there, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys think of that new location. It is a new build. So, and then there's the Moxie Banff should be opening by the end of February. I was at an event about just over a week and a half ago, a tourism event here in Calgary, and the Moxie Banff came up that, yeah, so I mean, I think there's been some construction issues because it's a renovation, a complete pretty much interior teardown and rebuild of a 60-year-old building, the very first Motor Inn that was ever in Banff, that opened back in 1964. So that one's been, it's had some issues, so that's probably why it's been delayed. But right now they're scheduled to open on February 29th, 2024. Some of the other hotels to look for this year, there's the Courtyard Montreal Laval. I think that one was supposed to open last year as well, but that's been postponed until about February 29th. Courtyard Regina Downtown in Saskatchewan. This is a conversion of the Quality Hotel Regina. Then we have a Fairfield Inn and Suites in Newmarket that's going to be opening up later this spring, and then a 4 Points by Sheraton in Sarnia as well. And those are the ones that we have the primary details for. There's some others that we have no dates or links for yet, other than talk about them. There's the AC Hotel by Marriott Ottawa. This one was talked about for last year, and this year I don't know where it's at. I believe it's still going to open this year. I haven't been able to find a lot of details on it. Then there's an Element by Westin Calgary downtown that's supposed to be opening later this year. What this is this is one of those office buildings that's being converted for different use. So part of it's going to be the hotel. It's going to be this Element by Westin Calgary downtown. Campbell River, BC is going to be getting a 4 Points possibly later this year. We don't know exact opening dates yet. And we're also looking at 2 more Moxies to be opening up in Montreal and Ottawa. But again, there's very few dates. I reached out to Marriott about a lot of these hotels, and normally they're quite helpful, but they weren't able to provide a lot of details this year. So I'll see if I can do some more digging and actually talk to the hospitality companies, the people who actually own these hotels that are franchising the names from Marriott, and see if we can find out more details on those Moxies and like the AC Hotel and things like that. And I know in last year's Marriott post we discussed the Renaissance Ottawa should have been opening this year, but from what I can tell, I think it's just a hole in the ground right now, or they just literally just started building it, so that's likely not going to happen this year. So those are your new Marriott openings. Check out the post. The link will be below. And we'll still have ISG Hotel new openings coming up later this year, as well as Hilton. I was going to say Hyatt, but I don't believe Hyatt has any plan this year, again, for the second year in a row. I'm going to double check that. But as far as I know, they're really not ramping up things until next year for openings in Canada. But I could be wrong. I'll follow up, of course, in the blog and in more videos. Continuing on, so let's go into a bonus offer. This is with hotels. All Accor Live Limitless, the program for Fairmont and Accor Hotels. Did I just say? I think I just said Accor, but Accor Hotels in. They own Fairmont, of course. They're offering 3 times all rewards points for stays at their locations in Canada, the U.S., Mexico, and Panama. So, of course, their earn rates are based on spend. So I believe it's 25, the base earn rate is 25 points per 10 euro spent. So you're going to earn 75 points. And each point is worth 2 euro cents. So this is a pretty lucrative bonus, especially when you think about what Fairmont hotels cost when you pay for them for nights there. So you can rack up a lot of points with this. You can register and book this offer for stays until April 30th, 2024. Yeah, so 3 times points at those hotels in North America. Caribbean's not included this time. Next up in the loyalty news is we have Air Canada and Manulife announcing a partnership where they're going to award Aeroplan points to Manulife group benefits members for participating in like wellness and health activity type things. We don't know if it's going to be like surveys. They say it's going to be a digital experience, so probably like surveys and that. And so this reminds me of the Carrot app from back in the mid 2010s, where you could walk and earn, your steps per day would earn you points. You do health surveys and earn points, and it was like Aeroplan points, Scene Plus points, those type of things. So right now there's not a lot of details. It's going to launch this summer. This seems to be kind of a trend now from Aeroplan to announce the partnerships quite early. We saw that with Journey Rewards. They announced that quite early. They really did that, I think, like 6 or 7 months prior to launching with Journey Rewards, maybe even longer. And so same thing here. We don't have a lot of details. It's funny, I spoke to a reporter earlier this week, a journalist for CBC, and she was saying that, asking about this because they saw the press release, and I couldn't give them too much details, but they countered saying that there's studies out now that are saying these wellness apps and health apps actually have no benefits. So if that's just a study, I'm going to leave it up to everybody. But hey, it's going to be what another way to earn Aeroplan points if you're a Manulife benefits member, group benefits member. I think the partnership has more to do with trying to build up Aeroplan membership. Manulife is quite a big provider of benefits in Canada, so they might get some more members there, and it's another avenue to pitch credit cards and other products. So there's more to the partnership than health and well-being, I would think. So that's just my take on the Air Canada Manulife Aeroplan partnership that will be launching sometime this summer. And now we'll move on to a little bit of travel news. The first came out late last week is that Alaska Airlines, this is exciting, is launching a Toronto to Seattle route. Yeah, it's going to be a once daily service that launches on May 16th, 2024. It's perfect for connecting to their new partner, Porter Airlines, to Eastern Canada, and from Eastern Canada through Toronto to Seattle. And then there's even further connections out of Seattle to places like Honolulu and Western US. I mean, this is more about the connections in Toronto, but it works both directions. So this is great news for those mileage plan members who've been racking up lots of miles, buying miles, or if you had the old MBNA card or have the MBNA rewards card now and are just awaiting that conversion option to kick in, to come into place. Yeah, I have some details about the route more in the blog post. You check it out below. But so that's exciting. And continue on with route news. We also have United Airlines, who are adding flights from Halifax to Newark, New Jersey, New York area. So that's 3 flights for you guys this year. American, Delta, and United now all flying to the New York area out of Halifax. So this is great news for them. This is going to be a twice daily flight. And United also announced Vancouver to Washington D.C. flights, which looks to be summer seasonal. That one starts May 2nd, will be 1 times daily. So I'll put a link below so you can read more about those routes. But yeah, so lots of new route news. I know at the time of recording this, I saw that United is adding even more flights, which we'll cover in the following week. Lynx Air has a big expansion, which we're going to be covering. So lots of travel news to cover. So I don't want to keep this episode as being too long. So I'll leave it with that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be sure to hit that like button if you did like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.